All right, everybody. We're here talking. I mean, it's not the Glacier Gamble, but it's a
I
Glacier
know.
Gamble production. Today we're going to talk to you about we're back. Little vacation holiday break at most
New
people take.
house.
Joe's got his house, new house.
New
Congratulations,
house.
Joe.
Thank you.
First episode from the new house.
Yep.
I'm in the same house, um,
Only
but new
downside
job.
to this room is I see new things is the lights are warm instead of like daylight. So it's like yellow in here. When I
I
would
don't have my
prefer it to be
studio light in here, but that's okay.
right. My cat is chirping outside because she wants in.
Let her
But
in. Let Lucy in. But as you can see, we're here ready, sharing it. You should be able to see this. We're gonna do a wide receiver tier list for sports, NFL wide receivers. This is only
the
the
Jocker
top
room.
for the Jocker room. Yes. For those of you who are new, welcome. Make sure to like and subscribe and follow us on all the social media. This is the top two wide receivers from every team. Either how they're listed on depth chart, their top two productive wide receivers, or no
Because we
no
wanted
tight
to.
ends.
Because we wanted. Yeah, because we would put probably Drake London and Kyle Pitts in here.
Right. It'll
Um
be Kelsey.
Amon Ra and Sam Laporta,
Right.
stuff like that. So we'll save the
But
tight
it's the
ends
wide,
from
yeah,
this.
tight ends will be their own thing. This is not weapons, because otherwise, you got wide like Christian McCaffrey and Debo would probably be the two.
Right.
Um, but yeah, top two wide receivers listed on their site as their depth chart, or if there's like a tie, like if they list multiple starters,
Or if
it's
their
whoever
number
was more
two and three are
productive.
both not great, then we'll went by production, I guess.
Then we went
So
by production, yeah, because some of the teams have yet not updated. Look at that Pokemon Center ad right there. Great. Um, do I like Pokemon? Weird. Um, so yeah,
watch
so
out. You don't want to know what the next thing that pops up is.
Squarespace. Anyway, all right, everybody. So first, we're gonna go by division. This is just their top two. So first team is Miami Dolphins.
So here's I'm a little biased because or not biased, but I think that
I
the
also
S and A.
I forgot to add the Bills. So now they're there now.
All right. So I know we talked about this, and I said there's probably a very small amount of S, and there's probably only a handful of A, and then everyone else is kind of below that, I
Yep,
think.
I think
So
that's fair. S
um
should be reserved for. We talked to our buddy Sam about this, and he said that he doesn't want us to. This he'd be upset if he sees a bunch of S.
yeah, yeah. So do you want to get those out of the way? This right off the rip, because
Well, that's. Do you
in
want to
my
go off of
opinion,
that, or do you just want to go based on team? Like
we
just
can
go
go
down
we
the
can go
list.
down the list. That's okay.
So
I'm
because we
fine with
forgot about
that.
them, we'll do them first. The Bills, Stephon
Um,
Diggs.
I'm gonna. So I think Stefan Diggs is still he had a very productive first 9 games. That's where I would put him as well. He had a very productive first 9 games and have kind of fallen off a bit.
Yeah.
But he's still that guy. And I know the Bills have also. Yeah, it's who are we comparing? Let's put him in B for right now
Okay.
because I don't know who we're comparing him with in the C, I guess.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I
I
think
I don't think Stephon Diggs is S tier anymore.
right.
I don't. I think he had a couple S seasons.
Sure.
Just like there's a couple players that we'll probably get to that others might give them an A or S, when I think maybe just because you had one or two good seasons doesn't mean anything.
Sure. Sure.
Um,
Yeah, I'm fine putting Gabe Davis in the B for right now because I don't know who we have on this list since we've gotten there that is a C, and so if we got to kind of compare him with
with who else would be a
that
C?
person,
Like, is he's probably better than, but just because, so we can even go
we can
the
go to the
higher C
Patriots right
tiers go over
now,
here and the
and
lower C tiers end up over here.
right,
Like
yeah,
he might end up as a low B tier or like
sure,
high C.
sure, sure.
Um, but I think for now, A and B for Diggs and
So
Davis is
who
right
else we got?
on.
Now we go to the
Dolphins.
Dolphins. Yeah.
So
So
we got Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle.
so Tyreek in my opinion, is one of the
Absolutely. Yeah, I wouldn't even
S wide
hesitate.
receivers. It's not. I don't think it's really close. I think there's two guys that are in that bracket in total in the entire NFL, and their production said so. But barring injuries, it is what it is. But
Tyreek Hill is one of he is like he is one of the best ever, let alone one of the best in the league
right.
now.
Yeah,
So
there
he
was
has to
a
be in the S tier.
yeah, and he's just the ball in his hands. He's just so fast. Like
He's got
you can't
Olympic
stop him.
sprinter speed with NFL strength. So when he's got the pads on, a lot of guys like slow down from their 40 time. Like John Ross was super fast, but you put the pads on him and he really wasn't that fast on the
Right. Well,
field.
John Ross also couldn't catch,
That was a
so
big problem too, which we'll get into some guys later on this list that can't catch either.
right.
Um, but Tyreek Hill, so because he's so strong, he runs 20 some miles an
Right.
hour with the pads on. That's just what makes him insane to me.
Sure.
In a jump ball, he's still not one of my top choices, but he's still
Right.
not
He's
bad in a
got
jump ball
hops though.
situation. Right, exactly.
I mean, he can jump.
I
So
mean, he got mossed by a kid, but
right. yeah.
Jalen Waddle, this is where I think it gets tricky because I think most people would put him in A.
Sure. I would put him in B.
I
Like
would
I
put
said,
him
I
in
think
B.
I think A is there's not going to be much in A, which I think a lot of it is going to be B's and C's.
I think that's the first. This is already the first name on this list where people are pissed.
Yeah,
I
I
think a
agree.
lot of people like that aren't Bills fans are
Right.
okay with Diggs being A.
Bills fans would have been pissed from the first one, let's be
Right.
honest.
Correct.
Right.
But if you're not a Bills fan, you're probably okay with Diggs being A. I think Waddle being put in B is the first one where people are going to be like,
Sure.
he's an A.
Sure.
Um, this is a sorry Patriots. You got Devontae Parker and Juju Smith-Schuster. Devontae Juju.
All right. So I'm gonna put Devontae Parker in the C, and I'm gonna put Juju in the D because I think
I think
I
that's funny because I would have swapped those and
swapped
put
them.
Juju as a
Juju,
C and Devontae
sure.
as a
I
D.
think I think Juju. I could put them both in D to be honest
So
with
you know
you.
what? Just in case we have a change of heart later on,
Sure. I don't think that's off. Like I
I
don't
don't
think
think
that's
that.
too far
Yeah,
from the truth.
because like people are talking
Uh,
about the Chiefs were so much better with Devontae or with Juju and stuff, and it's like he's doesn't really change much. He's
right.
proven he's not a number one. He's
Right.
barely proven he was a number two.
Right.
And in my opinion, I'm trying to compare him with the other starters that we see here.
Yeah.
And I can't think of any number twos really that I see in front of me that I feel like most of these number twos I'd take over them as a number one.
Sure. Yeah. I'm okay with that.
Jets, we got Chris Olave,
No, Garrett Wilson and
Garrett
Drake
Wilson,
London,
and
dude.
Drake
I get
London.
those two confused. They're like the same person.
So this
Garrett
is
Wilson and Alan Lazard.
yeah,
Uh,
this is Alan Lazard
right.
and this is Garrett Wilson.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Garrett Wilson's nice.
Garrett
He's
Wilson's
he
real good.
he's good.
Alan Lazard
So
is probably my first one I think C. First thing I think of.
sure, I don't even think that to be
You
honest.
think you'd put him D?
I would like I put him in that same tier as Juju and Devontae because Garrett Wilson is just drastically better. I would put Garrett Wilson as a B. I think with Rodgers, he could be an A for
Yeah.
sure.
See, that's the thing. It's like it's hard to judge him based on his QB because I think
Sure.
Garrett Wilson is. I have a feeling by the end of this, we'll have Garrett Wilson moved up to A. I'm fine leaving him as a B for now.
He is nice. He
I
is
think
nice.
he's
Like
so good. I think he's
he is
super good.
really good. He is really good.
I so for now again we'll leave him as B, but
Do you want to shuffle them here while we have them?
I mean this would be what I would do.
Like that? Okay, I'm fine with that. At the bottom, we don't really care. They're all in the same garbage.
Yeah.
That's
So
probably
I'm
right.
biased here, so I'm gonna need you because I will
Sure.
admit to anybody watching, listening, I'm biased against these two. Not against them, I'm biased for them. Calvin Ridley, I want to put him as high B, maybe A, just because I
Sure.
love him.
He was this year though, he was so not great.
Yeah, and that's my
Um
problem with that too. And then Christian Kirk, I don't really like, but I feel like I'm
he's
gonna,
done well. He's done a
yeah.
lot better. Um man, I like Christian Kirk for me is like that's right. That's right. Christian Kirk for me is like high C, low B. Like, yeah, like I don't think that's too far off.
Yeah, and see,
So,
and it's having Christian Kirk as a C is the first thing that makes me decide is maybe he needs to go down.
right,
Like maybe Gabe Davis
just
drops one,
do
and
that for
Chris,
now. Move him down.
you could swap do this,
Yeah,
and I would do.
I would do that too. I think Christian Kirk has had a much better year. So,
So
okay,
this is looking okay for now. Most people
right,
probably disagree, but
right.
I think this is
It's probably
great.
close to out by this point. What the fuck? Because we're idiots.
No, we're geniuses. I'm
Uh,
not sure how we're doing on time because great update that doesn't change my allow the time. But all right,
sure.
so we got Pittman.
Michael Pittman's been a baller this year.
You know,
Like I could put him low A, high B too for right now. He's been doing very, very well.
I would agree. Um, and then what about Josh
Josh
Downs?
Downs, probably a C. I probably put him above. I don't know. He's right with Ridley there.
Yeah,
I
I think
think
that's
that's
fair.
that's about
I would
right.
take Waddle over Pittman,
Okay,
and I would
yeah,
take Wilson over both of them.
right. Pittman's been balling this year though. I was
I
wrong about
like
him.
Pittman a lot. I just think Waddle
Yeah,
is
sure.
disgustingly good. Uh, all right, we got
Nico Collins,
Nico
Tank Dell.
Collins, Tank Dell.
Yeah. So Nico Collins has been more productive. He was like league leader, or he was really high in receiving yards, but I don't know if they're B's. Like I don't know if they're in that category with Garrett Wilson and Jalen Waddle and Pittman. So I think they're Tank Dell probably better than you do that. Would you do D? I'd put them in N to C too. I think
That's fair. Yeah,
I think
I
that's
think right now D feels kind of like S, where it kind of feels disrespectful to put some of these guys in D. So having him in a low C, this feels
sure,
fine to me.
sure. Okay,
I think,
right
but
on.
I think Nico and Christian Kirk. If you moved them up to B, same with Gabe Davis, I wouldn't be
Sure,
right now. I
sure.
think we're being harsh, but it's better
Harsh,
to be
that's
harsh.
good. That's good.
I
S
think
and
it's
A,
better
that's
to be
how I want.
harsh
That's how I
than
envision it.
I don't think people that go A S S A like I think
Yeah.
ASS. I think that I think
Ooh.
that's just kind of stupid.
Right.
Obviously, you don't have to be overly harsh, but I think this is fair. Like you're saying
Right.
that this mean a C does not mean in like most people's minds saying, "Wow, that's you're close to failing. You're only a couple things away from
Right.
failing
No,
these
that's
guys."
average.
But this is you the average expected skill level of an
Yeah.
NFL starting wide receivers. This isn't
Right.
like saying these guys should be third stringers. This
Right.
is saying that as a starter in the NFL, these guys should be your bar.
Right. No, I agree.
Anything better than these guys is really good. So
Sure.
BAS are all like top fantasy wide receivers. If
Right.
you traded them, they'd be worth a first round pick.
Right.
Like, it's just those types of guys.
Sure.
So, little disclaimer for these people that are just like
All
you
right.
Bills fans that I know are just pissed. Or Eagles fans.
Nuck.
Yeah, the DeAndre Hopkins. If you go as his whole career, obviously he's an S. But if you're going right now,
Yeah, yep. And Traylon Burks is okay. I mean, yeah, I think that's fine too. They don't have
yeah,
anyone throwing them the ball. Like Traylon Burks is pretty good, but
that's probably where I'd keep him for now.
sure, sure,
Um,
sure. This
uh,
next single one is very easy. Yep. And then I probably put Rashee Rice as like an average receiver. Yep. I put him somewhere in that mix for sure.
yeah, somewhere in there. once we get to like reorganizing them, it's kind of nitpicky, but I think
Right.
in this range is okay.
Sure.
We got Jerry Judy and
Yep. And
Cortland
then
Sutton.
Cortland Sutton. Cortland Sutton's good. Cortland Sutton's done very well this year.
I would put Sutton
But
over
I
Judy.
yeah, I would as well. But I
And
also don't think Sutton's like a B. Like I don't
see,
put him in
that's the
that
thing is
same
like,
I don't put him in that same category as he's probably the one of the best C's though. Like
right,
he
I
is
would probably
really
put, if
good.
he's not a B, he's there.
Right.
And then I think Jerry Judy is probably like here.
I'd put him I'd wait who I'd put him right around Ridley. I'd probably swap Gabe Davis. I would have Gabe Davis over Jerry
So
Judy.
there.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
could even
that's
go one
fair.
more. I'd probably my you could talk me into
I would
Calvin
rather have
Ridley
Calvin
over.
Ridley.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's fine for me. Would you rather have Josh Downs?
I'd probably rather have DeAndre Hopkins than him. Yeah, you could talk me into that. That seems right.
Okay.
So
Next is the Raiders. So we got
I feel
Devontae
bad here. I
Adams.
feel bad here because Devontae Adams is a very good wide receiver, but he has nobody throwing him the ball.
Right.
So
So I think this is one of those times where um this is one of those times where I am going to override how this season is going.
fair.
Um it's not fair to put Devontae Adams lower than A.
Sure. Yeah,
He's been
I
the best
agree.
wide receiver in the
I
NFL for
know, right?
until JJ got there.
Yeah, I agree.
And you would have put any year before this year, you might put him in
Yeah,
S.
if he was on any other team with a wide receiver, he'd be have that same production. So
Yeah, so
I agree
he
with
has
that.
to go there. I
Jacoby
apologize for
Myers,
anybody that says we're moving the goalpost, but no, Devonte Adams is an A,
hey
and
man,
I
yeah,
as a Vikings fan, I've watched Devonte Adams score too many touchdowns
right,
to say he's worse than an A.
right. Jacoby Myers is probably just in that C category. He's all
Yeah,
right.
I think he's right around like here.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, this is probably one of those ones where we were gonna disagree.
sure.
Where do you want Keenan Allen?
Where do you put him?
High B.
Really? I would. He has the production to be an A, but I think high B is
Okay.
right on.
Okay. Perfect.
He's very good when healthy. Very good when healthy.
Yep. And then another one. Again, this one's gonna might have to be you because if you're asking me, Mike Williams is an S. I
Yeah.
fucking
I mean,
love
when
him.
he's on your fantasy team, he is. That's for sure.
Every year since he's been a rookie, my fantasy team, I
Has
wanted
had
him
him.
as he was my favorite wide receiver coming out in his draft. I love Mike Williams.
Sure.
So he's an S in my heart. Where would you put him?
Um, I want to say high C again, but I'd also could be like lower B. Like he's not like production wise, he's very good, but I'd put that low B, high C. I think for him.
Okay, that's fine.
That's where I would put him because he's not Keenan. He's not definitely not Pittman this year. He's
Right.
hurt, granted,
These
but
guys
like
above him make sense, and he's right in that Christian Kirk,
he's
Cortland Sutton.
right where Cortland Sutton. Like he's right there.
Right, and and when we were talking about it, I wanted Sutton as low B. You said high C, so
Sure,
it's like B
sure.
minus,
We
C
may have to
plus.
add another one. We might have to add a B minus category and put those guys in there.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
We got
Zay Flowers,
Zay Flowers and OBJ.
Hotel. Zay Flowers is nice too. Yeah, that's not wrong. I feel bad. OBJ was one of the best wide receivers in the league. He's better than those guys.
He is. I think I would rather have what's his name here for the Titans, but
Traylon Burks, yeah.
Burks. Yeah, I think I'd rather have Burks than OBJ, but OBJ is right down there, at least for
Sure.
now. Career, he's been great.
Yeah.
Loved him in college, especially his kick return ability, but now, especially just this year in
Yeah.
particular, yeah.
Sure.
I'd rather have Zay Flowers, that's for sure.
Right. Sure. Where would you
Zay
put
Flowers, probably like Gabe Davis, Calvin Ridley range.
him? Sure.
So
I'd put him above. I'd put him
maybe here.
Yeah. I'd put him above Kirk too. I would rather have Zay Flowers. He's real good.
Okay. I'm fine with it. I'm not the further down Christian Kirk goes, I'm not gonna complain. I
Sure.
don't know what it is about him. Like when he was on the
Yeah.
Cardinals, I wanted more Elijah Moore to whatever to be better. I
Sure.
wanted him to be up the ranks.
Sure.
I don't know what it is. I don't there's something about Christian Kirk that I just as a talent evaluator, I just
Sure.
don't think he's great.
Sure. Yeah, I think we have three guys in the BC category that could be like B minus. I
Right.
think
Like it
you
feels
could.
disrespectful to put him in B, but then when you
Yeah.
look at who else is in B, it's like, should they really be in B?
Right. Yeah. We
Speaking
could
of,
add an F, to be honest. Like we could.
yeah, Kadarius
Yeah.
Toney and Devontae Parker and Juju could be all an F.
Yeah. What do we got? Coop and someone else.
Yeah, this Coop and God, I'm blanking on his name. Sorry, man.
Elijah Moore. Is it Elijah Moore?
Yeah, it's Elijah Moore.
Yeah.
So Elijah Moore, I think, unfortunately for him at this point in his career,
I'd be okay with that.
yeah, probably
Yeah.
something like that. Like
Cooper's
the
still nice though.
and
Cooper's still good.
I would put Cooper in a
Yeah.
B.
Yeah.
He is definitely above the bar for what I'd like my receivers to be,
Right.
which is yeah. Which
Right.
so as we're going through here, as I'm sitting here thinking, how are you okay with that?
Yeah. Yeah. I think Cortland Sutton is so like up and down, but like he's so just solid every time.
So good.
So
Like he could be the definition of the best average you
yeah.
could get.
Yeah. See those three, like I think Mike Williams, Zay Flowers, and Cortland Sutton could be that B minus category. Like that's how I
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, you're right.
yeah.
Cooper probably goes, I would say there.
Yeah. I put Keenan over him, but
Okay, we can
that's
do that.
just
I
because he
would
had like 300 yards versus us.
yeah, that's
But
true.
yeah, I don't think that's wrong.
God, is this? So we just did the Browns. So this is
Oh
George
yeah, we're just
Pickens
going down the
and
list. My
Deontay
bad.
Johnson.
Yeah, did we skip a thing or no? No, we did it. We're okay.
Yeah, I think this is George
Yeah,
Pickens here and Deontay Johnson here.
yeah, yeah. That seems right.
So push off Pickens. Where do you want push off Pickens?
Um, I mean they're C receivers.
Yeah,
Like they're both C receivers.
I would
Uh,
probably put Pickens someplace like here.
I
Probably
would
take
put
Gabe
him
over him.
lower. Yeah. But then again, it's like he's okay with a receipt with a wide or with a quarterback that throws, but his like I'd put them right by each other. And no, I'd put that lower. That's fine. Deontay Johnson's a crybaby too.
Yeah, I mean,
They
so's
both are.
Pickens.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're right by each
they
other in
both
everything.
whine. Yeah, yeah. Mediocrity. That's where they
Yeah,
are.
big bitch boys.
Right.
We got Jamar Chase, T. Higgins.
I'd put him in A.
I would also put Jamar Chase in A. I think a lot of people are going to expect that to be an S. I'm genuinely think S shouldn't have more than two, maybe
Yeah,
three.
yeah. And
And
the T Higgins is good. I'd put no, I'd put him. I mean, I'd put him in B. I would put him in B.
and I'm gonna be biased here. I love Mike Williams, but I would put T. Higgins all the way up there.
Sure, sure.
I think
Yeah,
T.
I don't think
Higgins
he's
is
better than
the
Pittman. Yeah,
best number two in football, which is probably, you know what, let's do this just to make sure that that
yeah,
stays accurate. I think T. Higgins is the best number two wide receiver in football.
sure.
I don't think it's necessarily close. Like, yes, these two are right by each other, but there's a gap. Like, I
Yeah,
just think T. Higgins is crazy good.
sure. Yeah,
We got CD Lamb and Brandon Cooks. That was one of those ones people are like, where's Gallup?
right,
If you're wondering, Gallup is getting cooked by Cooks in
right.
stats. Brandon
Sure.
Cooks has been good
Brandon
in
Cooks has
everywhere he
always
went, so
been solid.
he
Yeah, his
got the
entire
edge
career.
here. CD Lamb,
Yeah.
I think he's an
CeeDee
A.
Lamb. CeeDee Lamb. Okay, this is gonna be.
He also could go here, and I wouldn't be upset.
I think CeeDee Lamb has popped off this year, and you could say he's the best A, and I wouldn't. I think he jumped Chase this year, to be
Okay.
honest.
I still would rather have Devonte Adams, but we'll put him here. I don't think I can say I can as a
Sure.
Diggs hater because I
Right.
felt extremely betrayed by him being a Vikings fan
Yeah.
that also
That was such a win-win trade,
as
though.
somebody who loves the NFL draft, it's his favorite thing. And I had Stephon Diggs as like a second round, first round, like a one
Yeah.
first to second day wide receiver. When we got him, I remember texting you. I remember texting my dad. I remember
Yeah.
saying that that was like the biggest steal of the draft. And then when he
Right.
hit, I felt super excited. And then he
Right.
left, but I still can't put him better than Diggs.
Sure.
Still the best route, possibly the best route runner in football.
Right. All right.
Uh,
Brandon Cooks. I mean, let's put him. Yeah, somewhere in there. Yeah, he's just you got that's just a respect thing, man. He's had a
yeah,
1,000 yards. He's been on
you
18
almost don't have
teams.
a choice besides saying like he's just good.
Yeah,
When like he's like Mike Evans, you forget how good he is, but then you're like, oh
right,
wow, yeah, like 1,000 yards, 1,000 yards, a
right,
thousand backup quarterback, 1,000 yards.
right.
Devontae Smith and Hollywood Brown,
So AJ Brown is also I
not
think AJ
Hollywood, my
Brown,
bad, AJ Brown.
yeah. I think AJ Brown has also put himself into A this year. Um usually I would put him at B, but this specific year he's done very, very well. So I think he's earned that. He's like something like six, that's fine. I'm fine with that too. It like 6 straight games with like 100 yards and 10 catches or something like that. Something just absurd he's had. So that's with a quarterback that doesn't throw all that well as
Sure,
well. So
yeah, I think AJ Brown, um, he stepped up, and
yeah,
you have to give him respect for stepping up
right,
with a quarterback that let's just all be honest, he's not the best thrower of the
right,
football. He got benched for Tua, who is also not the best thrower of
right.
the football.
Sure. Yeah.
Obviously he's grown since then, whatever, but like
Right.
he's still got Jalen Hurts is still developing, which is a scary thought.
Right. Yeah.
But as a passer, especially as a pocket passer, Jalen is not where you want your
Right.
starting quarterback to be as a passer.
Sure.
We
Uh,
got
Curtis Samuel and
PJ,
Scary Terry.
yeah, Terry McLaurin, Curtis Samuel.
Yeah.
So Terry,
This is one of those where like this is so hard
this is the hardest set. This is the
because
hardest too.
because Terry McLaurin is like a B wide receiver,
Yep.
but like his production, he's like a C wide receiver. That sucks. That's one of those B minus type of guys.
I would put
But
him right here by Zay.
sure,
And then I think Curtis Samuel is a mid C, like right
yeah,
after Gabe
yep.
Davis or Pickens.
That's also
He's a
right
very
around there.
similar receiver to Calvin Ridley, so this makes a
Right,
ton of sense.
sure,
We'll try to pick it up since I know we're going to talk a lot about a few of these.
sure.
This
Couldn't tell you
is
who those guys are. Darius Slayton and someone probably.
yeah. So
Yeah.
we're in the NFC South right now, so that means this.
NFC. Yeah. You're right.
So
No, NFC East.
NFC East, yeah, it's the Giants. So we
Yep.
got Darius Slayton and
Wendell Robinson.
Wandale.
Wendell.
That's what it
Yeah.
was. Yeah.
Don't know who's who.
I think both of them are C's, maybe
Yeah.
a D.
That's fine. No, that's fine. Put them at the end. They're better. Yeah, put them down there. That's fine. Darius Slayton's not bad. Darius Slayton's
This
probably
is
better than
Slayton, I
Pickens, to be
believe.
honest. Yeah, he's probably better than Pickens. He's probably right at Curtis Samuel. He's probably in that kind of range.
Okay. Uh,
Yeah. You can't dispute.
you could move him all the way up here.
Yeah, a
Evans
1,000-yard receiver every season since entering the league.
doesn't matter who his QB
Insane.
is. Doesn't if you throw the ball up, he is a true gonna like come down with it. Three
Right.
guys on him, 4 guys on him, 11 guys on him. They're still gonna throw him
Right.
the ball.
Right.
You could argue with me that he is worthy of an S tier, and I'd listen.
Sure.
I'm not gonna put him there because again,
Right.
it should only be a couple.
Godwin's another one of those kind of B minus guys.
Yeah.
But I think with the fact that he doesn't, the production from the quarterback isn't all there. you could put him in. Yeah, you could put him right up there as well. I think that's right. He's right in that. We should have a B minus, but
We'll get there. We'll for
right,
this one, maybe we'll do that for the other positions, running backs or
sure,
something.
sure.
Um, yeah. So that was Bucks.
This
Now
is
it's
Saints.
Saints.
Yeah,
Yeah. We got Olave and someone
Rashid
else.
Shaheed.
Rashid Shaheed.
Yeah, which is which? I think Olave's on the
Um,
right.
so Rashid, this is Rashid, this is
Right.
Olave. Rashid Shaheed, I would probably say is worthy of like here. Disagree?
Um,
And Olave,
no, that's fine. That's
I'd
fine.
put here.
Sure.
Maybe higher.
Is he
Like,
better than Wendell? Probably. Olave. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine with me. I think that's
all
right.
right.
Was it Mac Collins? Mac Hollins and Drake London.
Drake London and Mac Hollins. Yeah.
They're both probably in that C range again. Um,
Okay. I would probably put Drake higher. So
yes,
I'd
I
probably
would
put Drake
too.
like around here.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine with me.
Yeah. And then Mac somewhere around like here.
Sure.
Adam Thielen,
Still got it.
he still
He still
got it.
got it.
We're
I'd put
biased.
him. I'd put him right around where Brandon Cooks is. I
I think for
think
having the stats he has for with the quarterback he
with the whole,
has,
yeah,
I feel like you still have to respect him.
yeah. I would have put him right above Brandon Cooks. I think.
I would have put him either right behind Terry or right behind
Sure.
Godwin.
And then Chark. What's
Charks
his name? Start with J
DJ.
D.
Yeah.
Shit. Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right. We got 6 minutes. Debo Samuel.
Debo, insane. Yeah. Yeah. And Ayuk is good too, but he's in that B minus for me too.
Where would you put him as a B or would you put him as high C?
I'd put him
Is
at
he is the same tier as Terry and Zay?
he's probably better than Terry, to be honest. So yeah,
All right.
yeah, that's
I would have
fine.
put him in the B as well.
Sure.
Puka, probably rookie of the year.
Yeah, probably rookie of the year. Oh, offensive rookie of the year.
Offensive rookie.
Right. This is tough. This part
I'd
is tough
probably
because
put
they're
him in the
both
C.
very good. Puka?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could tell he's got to be up that topness.
Yep. I would probably put him around like Devonta. If you
Sure. People are gonna that's gonna piss people off too.
because you
Because
think
of
he's
how
better.
yeah, because I think people think he's better, but it's rookie season. You can't tell.
But
We
then when you
put Zay
compare, is he
Flowers
really
there.
better than Godwin,
Yeah,
Thielen,
but we put him up there with
Devonta?
Zay Flowers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
Move
then
him
maybe
up.
Zay's too high.
I'd move Puka up.
Okay.
Yeah, because who would you want, Puka or Terry McLaurin?
I'd probably take Terry, but I'm
Sure, but
yeah.
production, yeah. Cooper's
Um,
got to be right up with him too. I know he's been hurt, but like he came back and he's
I'd
gotten like
probably put him there.
15 targets a game too.
Tyler Lockett, probably a mid C,
Yeah,
at least where he is right now in his career.
sure, sure.
DK Metcalf, probably,
Somewhere in that. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I'm fine with that.
All right. We got a few more to go and a few more minutes.
Sure.
So this is the
Just the Cardinals.
yeah.
I'd put them both in there, man. Yeah. They would have had a way better year if Kyler was here, but man.
And even then.
Yeah.
So now we have Lions. Amon Ra.
Amon Ra. Yeah, he's insane.
He's an A. Josh Reynolds. So we don't have Jameson Williams for multiple reasons. Josh Reynolds is one of those guys that is crushing Jameson in stats. So we put Josh Reynolds in.
He's definitely in that C mix somewhere.
Yeah, I'd probably put him there.
Sure.
We got Christian Watson and Romeo. This is Watson and Dobbs.
Man, they're both C's to me.
I would probably put them both like, yeah, here and maybe like.
I don't know if he's better. I don't know if I'd have Christian Watson over it. I'd rather have Cortland Sutton and Devonta Smith over Christian Watson. You could. Sure.
All right, we'll do the Bears. We'll save ours for last.
Sure. DJ Moore's real good. He's like high B for
This is
me.
Moore, right? And this is Tony Moore.
I think that's
Moody.
Mooney.
Yeah, Mooney, Moore.
More. Yeah.
Moore.
More would be like the B. He'd be up there with like Higgins for me, like up in that
I'm fine
area.
putting him near the end of it, but
Sure.
at the moment,
Sure.
yeah, sure. Something like that.
Yeah.
And then
Mooney's not great at
no,
all.
I'd probably put him in D.
Yeah. Yep.
Uh
Sure.
Addison,
Yeah.
I'd probably put as a low B
Sure.
for
And
now.
we got 3 rookies in there, man. Let's go. Yep.
And Justin Jefferson's the other S.
Yeah.
100%.
Shocker. Minnesota-based sports channel.
You mean the guy that's missed 7 games and only has to get 118
Okay,
yards
when
for
he
a
was okay,
thousand?
here's people are like, people ask me at work, they're like, why would you put them both at an S? Justin Jefferson had more yards than Tyreek Hill before he got hurt.
Yeah.
So
Justin
like
Jefferson was on pace. They were both on
those
pace
two were
to
on
break
pace.
2,000.
Yeah. So that's
Just
all
the
you need
one
to
thing you
hear.
have to say is Justin Jefferson had missed 7 games, and he just had if he gets 118 yards, which he's done a million times,
Right.
he breaks 1,000 yards still this
Yeah.
season.
That's insane.
And I think they're gonna feed him the ball to make
Yeah.
sure that happens because Kevin O'Connell doesn't want to be the guy that had Justin Jefferson and had him for the one season that he
Right.
couldn't get 1,000 yards.
Right. Yeah.
I think
I mean,
Nick
obviously
Mullins
we don't have
feed
enough
him.
time to move them around, but you could talk me into any one of these people being at any spot in their tier.
I
And
would
I could
agree.
probably believe you. So
I think A through like most or S through most of A were pretty much spot on.
yeah.
I'm very confident in our S and A. You could convince me in anything else. You could
Yeah,
talk
those
us into it.
those top 4 guys in B, you could talk me into them being A's.
I would agree
I believe you.
on all of those, but Keenan Allen, I would agree.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
let us know what you think. How wrong were we? I am going to save this and post it on social media, so let us know.
Sure.
And next week, I think, is probably when we'll do quarterbacks or running backs. Which one do
Yeah.
you want to see next? We just want to let you all know that we appreciate you watching. Like, subscribe. You all look great today. JJ!
JR.